Hi everybody. I'm starting a new self-help video series today, kind of a sequel to the other ones that I've been working on for roughly the past 2 years. I've talked in the past about managing stress, anxiety, depression, grief. We're right on the heels of the holiday season here, and I wanted to talk about managing these things over the holiday season, because if you deal with stress or anxiety or grief or depression, lots of times that gets exacerbated over the fast pace of the upcoming holidays. So this is kind of a short series, only a three-parter. This is kind of the combo intro and the first entry today. Like I said, only 3 entries, and then in the new year we'll be doing some more serious stuff. This is kind of for fun, but there's a serious tone to it as well. So here's the basis for this. A lot of us that deal with things like anxiety and stress, depression, grief, any type of psychological issues or environmental type issues, financial problems too. The holiday season can add a whole new level to that, and a lot of people struggle over the holidays. While a lot of us like to see it as a time of joy and a time of celebration, for some people it's very hard. It's a very hard time. And I want to focus on trying to minimize these feelings, these emotions, these negative things over the fast pace of the holiday season. Today's focus is on shopping, because Christmas shopping is holiday shopping, whatever you choose to call it, can be one of the most stressful things you deal with over the holiday season. There are others which are in the subsequent entries, but today we're going to focus on shopping. So what I've come up with is kind of a list of things, kind of a helpful hints as to how to minimize your stress level, your anxiety level while you're doing Christmas shopping, holiday shopping, whatever. Obviously the first one is really quite obvious. I said the word obvious way too many times there, but do what you can online if possible. That's easy today. I don't know with the supply chain issues how that's going to work this year. Every year this pandemic hangs around, adds a whole new level to how difficult shopping is. Last year was our first year dealing with it, and of course a lot of people had problems because they were afraid to go out, or there was things weren't open. But this year most things are open still. Now is the problem is finding things, because a lot of things are not able to be found, and if they are found, they're way expensive. So do what you can online if possible. That'll minimize some of the rest of the stuff I'm going to go over. But let's really get into the meat of it. All right, financially, okay, a lot of us overspend over the holiday season. A lot of us overspend. We spend way too much, and we suffer for it later. I ran into that problem for years and years and years. Never learned my lesson until I would say the past maybe 15 years. So set a budget and stick to it. Those are, having a budget is one thing, but sticking to it is another thing. Because when you go into stores, you see all these great, these ridiculous things they call door busters or whatever. Oh, and this looks good, I'll buy that. That wasn't on my list, but I'll get that. Okay, stay away from impulse buys. Okay, we all see them when we shop, and you're going to pay for that later if you overspend. So have a budget and stick to it. Now, those of us with children, my children are older now, so I'm not buying a million toys anymore. That's not an issue for me. But when you have older children, teenagers, and young adults, single presents could be an awful lot of money. The newest iPhone, the newest PlayStation, whatever, or even some more expensive things, audio equipment, video equipment, even maybe a car. But we need to manage our budgets, because what you can spend, what your income is, or if you have a combined income, if you're married or whatever, and stay with that, because come January, February, March, when those credit card bills come, that will increase your anxiety level, trust and believe. But let's talk a little bit about the physical shopping, like, old style. I'm going to the mall, I'm going to Target, I'm going wherever. One of the things that always caused me a lot of stress was the obstacle course they call parking lots. Okay, if you go to the mall, or, for those of you local, if you go up to Park City, okay, those parking lots could be a nightmare. Talk about stress. Man, like I'm stressed out before I ever get out of the car. So I incorporated a couple things to make things a little easier for me a few years back, and maybe they'll help you. For one thing, don't spend 20 minutes going in and out of parking aisles waiting for somebody to pull out or lurk in parking spots. You're wasting time and it's stressful. And you have a more chance of getting in an accident with people pulling in and out. What I do is I go in, I take a faraway parking spot. Yeah, it's a walk, but we all need exercise. Okay. And you know what? I'm not like, oh, is this person pulling out? Is that person pulling out? Oh, fighting with somebody else over somebody that's leaving a parking space. I just park at the end of the parking lot. And I walk in and I'm in there before most people that are lurking parking spots. And it doesn't stress me out. When getting to the store, getting to the mall, getting wherever you're going, if you're local, take a back way. Stay off the highways if you can. Because highway driving during the holidays can be every bit more stressful than usual. So I try to stay off interstate highways, stay off Route 30, or for those of you that are in different areas of the country, you know where your main roads are. So I try to take back roads. Here's the other thing I do, which I learned. Go at off times. Okay? Everybody's shopping Saturday and Sunday, Friday evening. Okay? I'll get off work at 2:30 on a weekday, go then. Or some of you that work different shifts, go before you go to work on a weekday and do it early. Late November, early December. Don't wait till right before the holidays come. Take a break. Okay, take a break. Remember the old style? They take shop till you drop. I always hated that. Shop till you drop. What does that mean? Does that mean I'm going to spend everything in my checking and savings account and just buy the crap out of the store until I can't go anymore and I'm physically exhausted? For some people, that's exactly what it means. But that's not good for you. It's not good for you emotionally. It's not good for you mentally. And it's not good for your stress level. So take a break. You don't have to do everything in one day. And again, that goes with not waiting till the last minute, okay? Start now. Buy a couple things now. Buy a couple things next week. I really stress out when I'm around a lot of people, okay? I speak for a living. That's what I do. I talk to people for a living, and I don't really have quote-unquote social anxiety disorder among, at my job or anything like that. But when I'm packed in solid with people, like nose to nose at a store or in line or someplace like that, it really causes my stress level to go way out of control. And then what happens with stress is it affects our bodies physiologically. We get headaches, we get stomach aches. And then, that can cause depression as well for those of us that suffer there. Just remember something. Whatever reason you're celebrating the holidays for, whether it be, you're celebrating the birth of Christ, or you're celebrating Hanukkah, or you're celebrating Kwanzaa, or you're just celebrating being with family. Remember that the whole point of the holidays, no matter what reason you're celebrating, is not materialism. And this is the biggest lesson I've learned in life. And it was a long, hard lesson. Okay? The whole point of the holidays is being around the people we love. Okay? You're celebrating because you believe you're celebrating the birth of Christ, that's great. If you're celebrating Hanukkah, that's great. If you're celebrating Kwanzaa or some other holiday, that's fine too. If you're celebrating just being with the people you care about, that's wonderful. But notice, none of those reasons foster materialism. Okay? Now, Christmas has been pushed to be a material holiday for a long time now, but I'm here to tell you, don't make the mistake I did. Okay? You guys got to realize part of the reason I make these videos isn't to be heavy-handed and to say, hey, I know this and do what I'm saying and you'll be all better. I'm teaching you from the mistakes that I made, from years and years of mistakes. Okay, and sometimes it took a long time for me to learn a lesson. And one of the hardest lessons I learned about the holidays, it's not about presents. Okay? Now, when you have little kids, I know it's kind of about presents. But us grown-ups, it's not about presents. Or you end up like I did, with a house full of stuff and nobody outside the house to share it with. So I don't think anybody really wants to be there. Some of us don't have big families. For those of you that do, frankly, I'm jealous. Okay? But some of us don't have big families. And If you don't have a large friend group, as I've said many times, my best friend is deceased. I really don't have too many close friends at all. I don't really have too many people to deal with outside this house. So the materialism didn't get me anywhere at all. You know, you end up with a house full of stuff you barely use, barely look at, and it's about people. I'll quote in a very much more clean way something that was said in the movie The 40-Year-Old Virgin. It's about connection. It's about family. It's about relationships. Now, the man who said that in the movie put it very crudely, and I won't share that here, although it is kind of funny. But remember the purpose. Whatever your purpose is, I can guarantee you the purpose isn't materialism. So, excuse the lecture, not meant to be that way. Just trying to help you guys learning from my own mistakes. So, that is number one in our new series, managing stress, anxiety, depression, grief, etc. over the holidays. My next entry, either next week or the week after, will be dealing with family over the holidays. And I'm sure we can all use some pointers on that or some refreshers, as the case may be. But as always, thanks for tuning in. I love talking to you guys. I love the fact that people actually watch these. It means a lot to me. If you want to see any of my videos, they're all available on my YouTube channel. Just go over to YouTube, type my name in the search engine, and you can see me in all my glory. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.